and find something you're passionate about besides Ziggy.
Hey guys, so of course this is wow. I don't know the last time I've been live this many times in a day, because I actually went live on my backup for a little bit to do a reading for Leo. So if you guys are a Leo, you might want to check it out. I got sent this video by Country Girl, and I really do think it is important that people bet we hear this. It's a video from the lab, which obviously I can't just like play it straight through or anything, but I started listening to it, and I think it seems to have like a lot of info in it that reminds us why some of us feel the way we do about the wells, and because it is very easy to get sucked into. Donna's very good at manipulation. When you have to live your whole life manipulating, you become good at it. And because of his life circumstances, how he grew up, everything, all the environment and stuff, he learned that he needed to manipulate to get what he wanted, and that's how he's learned his whole life. Hold on, I have to shut this. It's a common. It's everybody learns it as a kid. It's how everybody learns manipulation, but some people just like use it more than others, and continue much more into adulthood. And so, yeah, it's very normal for kids to use manipulation to get what they want. You know, cry. Just throw a fit. Please, please, please. But mommy, just stuff like that. But when it continues into adulthood, and it gets obviously much more intense and in depth, and you get people like Don Wells. But thank you guys so much for coming. It's hey RJ, you're the lucky wiener, because you're the number one wiener. Baked Allegation, she's a wiener too, because I've seen her in all three of my streams today. Hey Kimberly Brummett, you're a winner also, a wiener. And so is Annie Dom. So this is hopefully it's okay that I'm playing some of this. I don't even know if Josh has the same phone number anymore or anything, but I did text him, and because I'm gonna have to just start texting people beforehand, even if I'm just like gonna play a little bit of it, because I'm having too many people like go run to other creators and lie to them and cause unnecessary drama, and it gets us distracted. Like, if you don't like me, don't mess up or cause problems like when we're trying to figure shit out for summer. No matter how, we might not be able to accomplish anything, but still, why you have to bother us when we're, trying to find out about summer? If you don't like me, go elsewhere. Hey Fonda. So this is a lab, and this is a video he did 3 weeks ago. All his information is in my description. This is when he says that Jeannie wasn't, or what do you say? Jeannie was not innocent. His I understand that he was, when it started, he was like 12-ish. And I understand he was under 18, but I think what people are concerned about, really concerned about, is his reactions to it now, and how he like tries to like lessen the blow, basically, make it seem like not such a bad thing as it is. I feel like he's trying to rationalize it, and that's concerning, because it's one thing. I don't know. It just kind of shows that his mindset is still in a place that he believes it's okay. Why would you make excuses now, like 40 years later, if you did something really stupid as a child that you claim you don't do anymore? You say that you didn't know any better. I went to a household not knowing what this kind of stuff was, and I was, because he just moved. I guess he was staying with his mom and stepdad, and had moved in with his dad, and that's when this started happening between him and Jeannie. But he was 12 and she was 5, and he claims that it was her who initiated it. But however, she's 5. Okay, why? The thing is, it's like he's damn near like 60 years old, right? Why is he now? I know he might feel attacked or whatever. Maybe he feel I can understand that, but I would just think, I don't know, it doesn't seem the right reaction. I think that somebody, if they were really regretful and know it's wrong, and I think they'd be like saying, I was a kid, I don't know what I was thinking, I was very misguided and misdirected. I was, you wouldn't have like excuses and try to throw the other person on the bus. Like, he's mad because he feels like his stepsisters have caused like unnecessary, I guess, drama for him or whatever right after Summer went missing. But we have to remember, this isn't the stepsister's fault. This isn't law enforcement's fault. This isn't a YouTube creator's fault. This is Don Wells' fault. If he never did this stuff, then we wouldn't be talking about it. And in this video, no matter how, I agree with what I've heard so far that Josh has said, 100% in what he's saying in this video. And he makes some good points. I hear supposedly there's some documents that were shown in this too. Like, he showed, I'm not seeing where those are though. Country Girl, if you're in here, do you have where the documents are? I don't see where he showed documents. I thought you said he showed documents. I guess I need to text her and see. But there is things like phone calls played on here. Didn't she say did Josh show any type of documents, like of past charges? For or past calls, like when Mary called the police, like back in 1994 or something? I just text her to see if she can guide me, because she said something about Oh, she said she can't find it. Oh, she can't. No. Oh, sorry, country girl, if you're listening. Okay, let's just start to listen to this.
And all them coming out to my job site, I can't get no work around here no more. Nobody wants to use me because, because they turned in, what me and Jeannie did when we were little, whatever, which I know was bad and I know it was wrong and I should have known better, but that little girl was sexually active. It's not exactly all my damn fault. Maybe I should have known better. I agree with that, but man, I was a kid too, but they're trying to say they use the words and all. We never.
Okay, saying sexually active at, yeah, that's not a normal thing to say. Oh, she was sexually active. And you notice how he says things like, oh, the things me and Jeannie did. Like he can't say the things I did. He always has to say like things me and Jeannie did, or just here. Let me rewind this just a second.
Oh, my damn fault. Maybe I should have known better. I agree with that, but man, I was a kid too, but they're trying to say they use the word.
Yeah, I was a kid too. I mean, of course it's true. I get that. I do. But I think the most concerning thing is like the things he says now, 40 plus years later as an adult, making excuses. It just is not a good look. It looks really bad. Exactly.
We never done nothing besides touch each other. That was it. There was 3 statements. The police called me when I was in jail from Utah. I laughed at them. Then I started yelling at them. After they read me all 3 statements. Mary's was, at first she said, that me and my buddies was chasing her around. We was all playing, and she fell down. I helped pick her up. And I accidentally ripped her shirt a little bit when I was helping to pick her up, trying to help her get off the floor because she fell down. And that's as far as it went, And I told them guys, hey, man, enough. She's down on the floor. She's thinking we're serious, trying to do something to her when we wasn't, And that's exactly what happened. So that's what she said at first. And she was all for me at first. And then all of a sudden she done a 180 on me. But in her statement that she signed, she said that we chased her through the house and then we made her take all her clothes off and then we just sit there and looked at her. And that was all her statement was. But there was 3 statements, which was a complete lie, dude.
Okay. Let's just I'm trying to be unbiased. I try my hardest. So no offense to victims or Mary. But let's just, hypothetically speaking, say, let's say, okay, what if Mary's story was not true? It didn't happen. I mean, we're saying hypothetically. We still have like 6 other women. Well, 2 who made statements. Others didn't, put in statements. And the way he talks is just gross. Oh, she wasn't. That little girl wasn't innocent. Like the way he's talking. Oh, wow. It sounds so creepy. I would think so too, RJ. Here's a kid. Yeah. I mean, I know how people could be on here and on YouTube and stuff. I understand it, Dawn. I get it, but you need to start. It's time to man up. You can't live your whole life as doing criminal things, because you win criminal prizes when you do. And if you truly believe in a afterlife or a God, you better start repenting now.
I promise you. Oh man, they tried to have me put away, bro. If they could have, they would have. When Summer first disappeared, my dad told everybody that he wanted me to have his house when he died, because he wanted us out of Tennessee, because he didn't want us here because it wasn't good enough for his grandkids. And that was his reasoning. And that pissed them off.
I do know that, like, when Mary first came out and started speaking, I don't think she mentioned what had happened to her, really. Did she? I think it was a little bit before she said anything. But I think maybe why. Well, actually, I know why, because I remember her coming on here and saying, like, that I remember she was on my channel and saying that she made a report, but she wasn't sure if it was a crime. Like, she didn't know. And plus, I guess in comparison to what her sister Jeannie went through, I guess she didn't know. So maybe that's why she didn't mention it. What do you guys think? She said it's falling in. Yeah, exactly. It is. I don't know. Everybody keeps saying, like, so many people keep saying, like, oh, the stepsisters, it was a distraction. It should have never been brought up. And sometimes, like, I get some people's points, but, like, on the other hand, I remember things like Kimberly says here that Summer was 5 when she went missing, and Jeannie was 5 when this first started happening. And he's sitting here talking like this about a 5-year-old, even though she's not 5 now, Jeannie, but he's referring to a 5-year-old as sexually active and acting like, the way it's so creepy. Oh, she definitely wasn't innocent. Like, ew. Yes, Kathy. Yeah, Don's pushed it, but also, like, there's people, helping his agenda, and that's irritating, but, I also, does anybody find out, is Tiffany back on YouTube? Has she reappeared? Does anybody know or heard anything? Because I haven't heard. It's only been a few hours, but. And I'm sure the stepsisters are not perfect. I'm sure, because none of us are. But with Dawn, there's a pattern.
That's why they come after me like they did. Yeah, there was some sexual misconduct between me and Jeannie, but she was sexually active at a very young age. And I wasn't going around asking for her driver's license or whatever. She wanted to touch me at first. And at first I said no. And I can remember it because it's the first time I've ever even had any kind of sexual experience whatsoever. She wanted to put her hands down my pants, so I said no. And she says, oh, I do it all the time with my brothers or something like that. I can't remember exactly the words. And then I was like, oh, well, okay. And then she stuck her hands down my pants and she was feeling my but I didn't know I was doing wrong, you know. And
You see how this goes along with what Kathy's saying here. You see the words he uses and the descriptors and how it's did he have to really say you know, he could have just said she put her hand in my pants and, you know, touched me inappropriately or whatever, but instead he has to be like get into descriptive language when you're talking about, you know, kids. It's weird to me. Talking about, oh, she stuck her hand down her pants and it was feeling on my, whatever he was saying, on my jick, or what was it, dick, or I said jick. I was thinking between junk and dick. I couldn't figure out. I know I heard that video before, unedited, but why does he have to say stuff like that and then say like, oh, she wasn't innocent either and she touched me for, it's just not normal. This is I guess it's some of it's somewhat normal or normal. Oh my god, I'm sitting here reading and that's not what I meant at all. I guess some of it is somewhat new. This was posted by Josh 3 weeks ago, and I think some of it is, you know, was new at the time. I know, RJ, I kind of feel like that. It's so gross to say, but we have to be, it's true. And I hate even talking like that. It's just, ew, when it comes to kids, that's one thing that I don't understand that attraction, but I guess that's a good thing, right? Not to understand it.
And yeah, I'm guilty of doing the same thing. But you know, I was a teenager. I was young. I've learned a lot since then. You know, shit, I don't know, but it never went past anything like that.
Right.
And these people want to use the words and all kinds of crazy stuff. All I can say is I'm glad I got in trouble in Houston when I was 16 years old.
So there you go.
Why? What would have happened if he didn't go to prison at 16 years old? Wonder what he thinks would happen. But anyways, I thought in here there were some documents shared, but I guess at some point Josh shared some documents that we obviously need to bring up and find again, that of some type of document proof that Mary had contacted law enforcement or CPS in 1994 concerning something that she was told by Margie. I'm sorry, I don't know if it was directly from Margie, but it was, I believe it was from Mary's daughter, something Margie told Mary's daughter. And I think that we need to see that. I haven't seen this. Thank you, Rue, for sharing that. And yeah, the link is also in the description. But psychology says that's what happens in case. Yeah. Look. Really? They look at their child victims as equals to them. Yeah, I guess somehow in their mind, I guess that would make sense, Annie. That would make sense because that's how it's like rationalizing it in your brain so you make it okay for you, you know, so you can live with yourself, so you can continue doing things that make you feel good but you know are wrong, because it's obvious that he knows this shit's wrong, but he's a little bit too relaxed for comfort too. Like on one end, he's like, I mean, he's like, yeah, I know it's wrong. I know it's wrong. You don't have to tell me it's wrong. But on the other hand, he's like, oh, you know, she stuck her hand on my pants, fell on my junk. Like, ew. That shows me that you're way too or that's just way too lax about child SA.
Unpack that however you want, but please understand that this is the man that people are defending, that, you know, he's doing really well, blah blah blah, so on and so forth. And you know, first of all, there's so much wrong there that I'm not really sure where to start. And it's not important who he's talking to or anything like that. It's not important who he was talking to. The fact of the matter is that he said it, and he has said it. And that is who is being defended by certain people. And I just simply can't abide by that.
Thank you. I hope he still feels that way 3 weeks later. I'm sure, I think he does. Because that's how I feel. That's how passionate I am about it too. Like that's why I was getting so angry. I don't know why I get so, heated like that, except maybe because I've spent a lot of time on this and energy on this in the past year and a half. And, we've heard this stuff a million times, but every time I hear it, it's, well, this type of stuff. Maybe some of this stuff you guys you're just hearing for the first time, but we've heard this type of stuff with Don, and it's like we're all getting so used, like a little bit desensitized to him. I mean, he goes around saying the N-word like it's normal language. I mean, he's gonna get like, that's just, somebody is gonna end up like hurting him. Thank you, Baked Allegation. Thank you so much. I don't know why. I know it's weird to say thank you, but it's just nice to know that there's people who see what I'm saying. As far as, I don't know. I don't see how somebody couldn't. Besides the fact Don Wells is just really good at manipulating. He's a career criminal. Okay. He just even said he went to prison at 16 years old. He's lived in the institutions and system for his whole life. He's had to learn how to manipulate to get what he wants, because he has been in trouble. It was his own faults, because I'm sure his environment and I'm sure he did not have the easiest upbringing. I'm sure a lot of people failed him as well, because otherwise this would have been stopped nipped in the butt away. Let's say, what do you guys think that this Don may have had a chance to be a normal, productive member of society if somebody would have intervened back when this first started happening. But instead, they didn't want the issues. They didn't want the drama. They didn't want the bad look on their name, probably, or, the attention. They just wanted to handle within the family, I guess. But the problem is, like, Well, look what happens. And this isn't an anomaly either. This is what happens when you enable a child with this type of behavior, make them think it's okay. Institutionalized.
You know, I'm sure, you know, he's a really nice guy. I mean, you know, for God's sake, she was 5 years old. To say that a 5-year-old girl is sexually active, um, is one of the more demented things that I've heard somebody say. Um, it's very heartbreaking to hear. It's rough to hear. I'm not really proud of bringing it out. Um, but I also just couldn't sit there and listen to, you know, that whole situation, you know? I mean, 5, sexually active.
Well, see, and that's the thing, RJ. It's like if he never had a chance, then it's you know, it makes you think. If Don never had a chance to have a normal role in society, then is it right for us to blame Don Wells? I mean, if it's see, that's the problem when we think like that, because if we say he never had a chance, then that means like, oh, it's not Don Wells' fault, it's his parents' fault. But in a way, it does kind of seem like he had a chance, but maybe not as much. He had well, I'll say this: he had a chance, but he definitely, his chance wasn't as great as many of ours. They have made statements that makes me feel like they know more than what's being said. Yeah, Walter, and thank God. You know, that's why I feel like, and you know, not just me, but many people have said that she saved her brother's life a lot. If Summer lost her life, if Summer's not with us anymore, she's probably going to accomplish more than many do in their whole entire lives that live, you know, 100 years. But we have to, that's if we can get justice. She might have saved her, well, and also her brothers might have got out in time. She still might have she could have just saved her 3 brothers' lives. As far as now they have a chance to be productive. I mean, I hear the one of them, the middle one, I hear is like basically genius. Very smart. And you know, from right here, loving school because it's new to him. It was never something that was really pushed on, you know, encouraged. I know, RJ, it's hard, but I agree. I don't know if he did have a chance. Like, realistically, if we're being honest, it's not me enabling Don or, you know, making excuses for him at all. But it is important for us to recognize how this shit happens. Consequences last a long time, and a lot of lives can be affected by hurting a child one time, you know, in that way. which I don't know why anybody would want to do that. But I'm just saying that one time could totally mess up several hundreds of people's lives. Because what if that, probably not you, I don't know, it could happen. I'm not an expert at this stuff, but I would think if it happens to you, you more likely are, you are more likely to do it yourself, I guess, right? Or not? Just because you think it's normal growing up, right? You think it's normal, but I don't know. I guess if it's happens just one time, though, I don't know if somebody would repeat actions. I don't think it's possible for something to really happen for these people just to make one mistake like that. I don't think it happens just one time ever. Oh, what was the comment about living high on the hog? Oh, the boys living high on the hog? Yeah, and that's how we have to think, Danielle, because we can't enable people and give them excuses, but it is important to educate so parents, know when the kid is young, if you start seeing signs of inappropriate behaviors, to deal with it very early on. I mean, you would think that'd be, I don't know. You would think that'd be a given, but I guess not.
I've never heard of such a thing. And he kind of goes on to say things like, well, I knew it was wrong, but I didn't know it was wrong, or, whatever.
Maybe 15, I don't know.
And how old was she?
Maybe 15, I don't know.
And how?
That is admitting
Maybe 15.
This one.
Because stepmom calls them and tells them everything.
Is that, you said, what was her name?
My stepsister is Jeannie.
Jeannie. And
we did have a relationship when we were younger.
And what was
and she's just as guilty as I am.
So
she's trying to pull the wool over everybody's eyes like she's innocent and all this and that. Well, she's not.
Walk me through that. Help me understand.
I would rather not, but so we kind of had a relationship when we were younger. Yeah, I was a bit older. I had a dirt bike, I don't know how old I was exactly, but she started dating her cousin, which was about 12 years old at that time. And ever since then, she just wanted me out of the picture. Ever since then. And it started all this hateful stuff ever since then.
And how old were you?
I don't know. Maybe 15, I don't know.
And how old was
He always, when you ask him what age, even now, even to this day, he'll sit there and act like he doesn't. He'll sit there and be like, contemplate. Like he has to think. And that just shows, he knows that it's wrong and he doesn't want to say, because he doesn't want to say that how big the age difference was. Because he knows, his conscience knows that that's not right. And it's not okay. But I don't know, his pride refuses to let him see the truth. But I mean, I that's kind of why we have what we have today with him and why he's who he is now. Because he's just refuses to see the truth in any situation. I mean, for the stuff like this like he gets mad at like YouTubers for stuff like this, like comments that he made himself. He's just mad that it gets put out to the public. Well, Don, you come on freaking people's channels all the time saying the N-word like it's going out of style, like it's normal. So I don't see, I mean, you don't seem to have any shame. This person said, I lived in Hawkins County in most of my 67 years, and I've never heard at any time a 5-year-old being sexually active. His mind is so twisted. Exactly. Who says, oh, she was sexually active? Who talks like that's just a weird thing to say.
I don't know. She was a lot younger than me, and I thought this, and I remember thinking this. Why would I didn't think it was right? I was too young to understand how girls are too.
Walk me through that. When you say you didn't think it was right, what were you guys?
Well, because she was younger. Because she was younger. No.
Oh, and by the way, if he was 15, think about when you guys were 15. He's saying 15, okay? That he was 15. Well, that means that Jeannie was 8 years old. 9 at the very, very most. A 15-year-old dating an 8-year-old or 9-year-old? Are you kidding me? Oh my gosh. My daughter feels like she's like, she will not even be. She talks about how like she won't even talk to the boy if he's in middle school because it's so uncool. And she's 14. But Dawn Wells was perfectly fine dating an 8-year-old as a sophomore in high school. You guys don't see that as strange? Because remember, if you put it in perspective like that, as a 15-year-old is a sophomore in high school. My daughter's 14, almost 15 in a couple months. And she's a freshman. So he was a sophomore in high school, or at the age where he was supposed to be a sophomore in high school anyways. And he is saying that he was dating an 8-year-old. Wow. Yeah. We'll look at young child's actions as equal. Exactly. Or Annie, how about, it's just like him saying, and I'm going to say it again. I know it's a broken record, but saying a 12-year-old has a body from hell. That's putting a child on the same level as you. Like, what? You don't, that's somebody who has blurred boundaries. Like they don't see anything off limits, and that's really scary. Because most people, like, they don't look at children like that. You can clearly look at somebody usually and tell if they're an adult or not. Or, sometimes it might be like, it might be 17, whatever. But for the most part, you're going to be able to tell, like, nobody's going to look at an 8-year-old. Well, people like Dawn Wells, I guess, do. Be like, oh, she's got a body from hell. But Dawn Wells says shit like that about children. And he says it now. He said that within the last year. It's not something he did as a kid or whatever.
She would play with my thing and I would play with hers. And that's about it.
Let me see here. Thomas says, better watch out, Josh. He might give you a shout out like he did to Don B when all he speaks is truth. And I know you're being facetious and things like that, but like I testify against my own father on a daily basis. Like, you think that I give a shit what Don Wells thinks of me? You think I'm scared of him? If I'll do that to my own dad, what do you think I'll do to him? I'm not going to just sit by and let him con everybody into thinking that he's some decent dude when he's not. He's not a good person. Hell, I'm not a good person either, but I ain't ever done anything like that.
It is refreshing hearing somebody else like, oh, okay. Thank you. Somebody I think sent me the link to. Thank you, Destiny. I think.
I got a good feeling about this. Yeah.
Oh, okay. What? Oh my God, guys. Okay, I can't play this. Oh no. Okay, guys. I'll be the first one to tell you. Benny Keys' album just dropped. His new song called Look What You Made Me Do just came out. I'm not going to play it because I don't want him to strike me. He's like the king at strikes. He can strike your channel even if you play him for like 2 seconds. I don't know how he does it, but he's a master at it. But somebody just sent me, I thought they were sending me a link to documents, but this is a link to Benny Keys. Who's that? Who's Daniel Villegas? Twat? Twat was the first word they said? Oh no.
Lord, that's my witness church. Yeah. Glad for my image. I was in my bag. I was down bad street. Verse 24. Yeah, Lord, has my witness. Yeah. God, look what you made me do. Show is you watching. I was always down for you. Look around your life. They ain't no around for you. Yeah, all that quiet keys ain't got a sound for you. I'ma keep it simple, ain't nothing profound for you. But on the cool, she was bad for my image. I was in my bag, I was down bad street, verse 24.
Oh my God, dude. Well, it's not a bad song, but I don't know. I have to listen to the whole of it and see, like, if she's really, I'm guessing the fact that he teamed up with John Crimes, I think that says something. I think that's supposed to be a message, right? I don't know. Like, how does that happen? When's the last time that we've seen Tiffany and Benny on the same stream and being cool? Like, when did everything like fall apart like this? Not Billboard Top 100, a banger. Well, I just. The wrong conviction. Oh, the song is about. Oh, it's his. Oh, okay. So it's not about. I don't know what to think of it. I guess it's supposed to be about his friend Daniel. Is that what it's about? I don't know. It sounded like it was saying like she was bad for my image, and look around you. It's silent. Nobody's around or something like that. So I figured, and it's with John Crime. So who else would he be talking about? But I don't know. Destiny says that he's talking about Daniel, which I do remember the Daniel name now. I forgot about who that was for a little bit. We've heard so much stuff over the last year and a half. It's hard to like keep everything straight.
What? No. No, 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 no. She was 5. She was 5. So defend that. Defend it. You think I care if Dawn first and I show up?
Lost anything. He hasn't lost it, and it's just going to continue.
Hello.
Hey, Josh, how are you doing?
Good, Mr. McDonough. How are you tonight?
I'm doing good, bud. I'm loving. I just heard the tape you played. Good stuff. Real good stuff.
Yeah, it was pretty foul, wasn't it?
Well, it's typical, right? I mean, we've been saying this now since the moment Summer disappeared, and he hasn't lost anything. He hasn't lost it, and it's just going to continue to get worse. It's not going to slow down. It's not going to slow down.
So what? I mean, what did you make of that? Like, is that just standard, typical Dawn?
Well, I don't think it's typical Dawn as a whole. I think it's typical perpetrator. I mean, I've been studying these guys forever, and he is just, the poster child for deflection and just everything that he's saying and how he says it. And you notice he hasn't missed a beat, and now he's at this place where he's gotten out of jail, and he's right back into.
You guys, I have to step away for a minute, so hopefully, I don't know. I hope Josh is okay with me playing this. So just give me 2 minutes, and I'll just play it here. Hopefully, be fine.
There's nothing I can do about my daughter. Oh, by the way, let me deflect some of the other stuff that was out there, and tell you, my side of the story. I.e., a 5-year-old can instigate a sexual relationship with an older male who's at least 7 years older. We know that for a fact. But what he fails to tell us is about the fact that it continued on for over 7 years. And when Jeannie was 12, he was 19. So by that point, he was an adult. And, that's sexual assault, perpetrated upon a minor, which is a major problem. So the other side of this coin is where there's one, there are many. There's been studies that have shown the average pedophile has molested close to 250 to 500 children in their time. So, I'm not saying Don has. I'm just saying that allegedly he molested Jeannie at 5, based on his own admission.
Wait, I was going to say, I don't know if that's alleged anymore, right?
Well, I mean, we just heard him say it, and that's not the first time, right?
Not the first time. No, it's not.
And we just heard him say, which people were questioning us whether or not the authorities were involved. We just heard him say they went to visit him in jail, and we said that a while ago. We can't talk about that. We couldn't talk about it at the time, but
he did.
Yeah, he just put it out there right now, so I can talk about it now.
Yeah,
and yeah, they did. And he was one of the most difficult interviews the detective had. And he called me right after and said, "Hey, you were right." And I said, "Well, just listen to us, how he manipulates the conversation." And So, his own admissions there, the cops came to him. And then what the public doesn't know, which I can tell you now, that he sent his sister down to the police department in Roy, Utah, who is the investigating agency, and to write a statement of alibi about her side of the story and his side of the story. Well, her statement was so damaging to Don that they added it to the case file. And, she said, yeah, he did it. But, again, he was a teenager and she instigated it. So it was a parroted comment to the original confession and admission that even tonight.
So, does anybody know? I know it's not about this. It's about Tiffany Marie. But does anybody know if are her and John Crimes, did they ever like make amends or? Hey, Michelle D. I'm actually probably gonna have to go in a second. But because I've been up really early today. I got a lot done. This is like the third time I've been on. But second time it's only short. I only came on for the first time I was on here for a couple hours, I think. But second time was only for 30 minutes or something. No biggie. Well, that's what I'm wondering, Connie. The thing is, if you go over on Benny Keys, he just released some music video with John Crimes. And John Crimes, everybody knows that's Tiffany Marie's biggest enemy ever. And so it feels, I don't know whether to take, I know how Benny can be though. I know he'll do stuff for clicks and views to cause it could be like a PR stunt. He could be telling Tiffany, Tiffany and him could be it could be a way for him to get more views on the video if he gets Tiffany to stay off YouTube for a little bit and acts like she's mad at him. It could be something like that to try to build views off of their fake fight or whatever. I don't know. It makes you think after all it's like the story of the boy who cried wolf, right? It's like when you cry wolf way too many times, then when you actually need help, people don't take it seriously because they think you're playing around. Don's sister Sonia's husband is RSO himself. Really? Oh, AB's warming up to Tiffany again. Oh my gosh. So this could have been a whole, do you think, oh my God, do these people really behind the scenes arrange this shit? I'm starting to think many people, many subscribers think. I'm starting to think I'm just the odd one left out, and every one else of them was just talking behind the scenes and making up shit and quitting YouTube together at the same time, and it's weird. Is this for real? I mean, was AB for real mad at Tiffany? Oh my gosh, I didn't know that AB is being cool with, or that him and Tiffany are cool now. Still in rehab. Rehab for what? What do you mean in rehab? She's in rehab? Where'd you get the rehab thing, Red? I haven't heard that. Rehab for what?
all right, Don, he hasn't missed a beat.
What? I doubt. Really? So that's what somebody's trying to say, is that she's in drug rehab? This is like when I deleted my channels for a few days. Like, people came up with the craziest stuff, like, which it was like, tried to act like I lost my channels when both my channels like were hidden at the same time. You would think it'd be obvious, but so I do know that this is something she's done herself, and it's not like taken down or anything, but I'm pretty sure it's not. It's probably just, I could see a bunch of like trolls trying to push that. Oh, she's in rehab and stuff. And like I said, I'm not her biggest fan at all. Like, she's a complete nutcase like half the time. But at the same time, the truth is the truth, and I don't think that's true. Oh, he's lighting up on her. He just posted what, Kitty Cat? That picture or that song? Right, Julia? Well, I could tell that she didn't want to be, I just could tell she didn't want to be doing that interview. And she was doing it because for Dawn. It's not the creator's fault at all. It has nothing to do with the creators, by the way, because it's not their fault. Because if she came to me and wanted to talk, and I would be, I'd allow her on my channel and stuff. But at the same time, I mean, I wouldn't sit there and tell her, like, on my channel, like, are you sure you're not, like, I might say, you seem, I probably would point it out a little bit, because she just does not, she seems hesitant, afraid to speak, afraid to say the wrong thing. Prayer Garden is telling people that she's in rehab. Oh, buddy. If Tiffany gets wind of that, which she will, that's funny. Let me see. Wait, I want to listen to this real quick. I've heard this, but it looks like I haven't seen this for a long time. It's and I'm gonna go here in a second, and it's kind of a little bit off topic. Well, kind of. We're on talking about Tiffany Marie, so that's what this is about. But
Hey, it's Dana from
it's Tiffany Marie, spirits have messages for you, and this is a year ago by Electronic Medium. So it looks like she did some kind of spirit box. I don't know. Let's see. This is going to be hilarious. It looks like I did watch it, but I don't remember. No.
Dana from StreamYard. I'm so excited.
Push. We should be lifting each other up in this. What makes some people have so much hate in their heart?
Mm-hmm.
Some people bully other people to the point that person is thinking about ending their life, and yet that person continues to push and push and push. We should be lifting each other up in this world. After all, life is tough. We should be loving, caring, supportive, and helpful to other people, not damaging their souls. Being mean and hateful just makes your spirit dark and your frequency low. Let's see what the spirits have to say about this. All right, spirits, I just want to say I appreciate you, all of my spirit guides and spirit helpers. I want to see if you have any messages today for people who are mean to other people in this life, people who have a very low vibration, people who have a dark spirit.
Okay, I just got this email and I wanted to see it. I guess it's Benny made a comment or something. Let's see. Unfortunately, my friend Tiffany Marie Discord is available for me to view. She is a liar of the worst type. Gonna get this struggle wrapped, and I will be talking about it. Since she is, we fitting uphill the potatoes, gang. I thought he was done with YouTube. He says, I will be talking about it. I thought he was done with YouTube. Oh my gosh, dude. I was excited. Now I'm fucking bummed AF. I'm just kidding. But I really, seriously though, I thought he was done. She is a liar of the worst type. Gonna get this struggle wrapped, and I will be talking about it. Since she is, we fitting to peel the potatoes, gang. Exactly. That's what I was saying, Michelle D. Just think about when he says he was 15, I was talking about earlier, that would have meant when he was 15, he would have been a sophomore in high school, because my daughter's 14 and she's a freshman and she'll be 15 in a couple months. And he's said in this call that I was playing that the lab had, he says that he was dating, that him and his stepsister kind of had a thing. They were kind of dating or whatever. And well, that would have meant that he was a sophomore in high school and she was in elementary school. Let that one sink in. That would have meant at 8 or 9, what, she is in 3rd grade? Maybe 4th grade? You're dating a 3rd grader when you were in high school, Dawn? Oh my God. See, when you think about it like that, that is like, oh, no. Nobody, Tiffany's channel's not taken down or anything like that. It's just, she's upset about something, obviously. But we knew this was coming, but I don't know if I don't know if we can believe this. This could be a distraction while they're in Tennessee or something. That's all. So I don't know what to think, but because on one hand, at first, when I first heard about it, I was like, I actually felt really, really bad for Tiffany, because I knew, I don't know why I want to immediately, I want to think like I told you so to myself, but at the same time, I feel bad because she keeps getting herself into things like this with guys on here, and then she goes full blast for him, like it isn't, just as like their little shadow, and then I don't know what she was thinking. I'm wondering, Tanya. I'm wondering now. That's what I was just wondering. I'm like, maybe these creators do fake the funk for views, and I'm just not included in it, because the only time I've been asked to fake a fight was by Prayer Garden. I can't think of anybody else, any other creator that's ever asked me to say anything, like to put anything out to create a narrative or to manipulate. I don't think, I'm trying to think for sure if anybody else has ever tried to get me to do something like that. But the only person I can think of was Prayer Garden. Oh. Sorry, I was reading a text about, because I'll have to find, Country Girl was telling me where to find the documents I'm looking for, because I think it is important we see those, but I do have to go, I think. No, you're not off topic at all. We're winding down here and kind of got off topic ourselves, so you're on topic. That's the topic. I wanted to see what this, or I was watching this to see, have a reminder of what was said by the spirits about Tiffany Marie. Oh man. Here, I'll draw some cards. Let's see what's going on. How are we listening?
Here on Earth. Do you have any messages for these people?
Sorry, I accidentally hit play on Josh's video at the same time. What do you mean Benny TM had removed? So when did are you saying she removed herself? She stopped going to Benny's chats? They need to turn around and go home? It's a little OTT, over the top. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much, Annie. Hold on. Thank you, Annie. She sent me a Cash App that was so sweet. Thank you. Definitely. Thank you so much. You're such a sweetie. I was just trying to watch a little bit of this to remember what it was. But Tiffany removed herself. Okay. Well, I don't know. We'll have to see how this plays out. It's hard to say whether it's just something to try to get views or to distract to because I know they were planning on going to Tennessee. But at the same time, of all people, it doesn't seem like, I don't know. I don't know if Tiffany and John Crimes have ever like settled things, and maybe they're cool now or something, or they're not. I mean, like maybe they're okay with each other, and he could be in. I have no idea. I don't know. I've never really watched John Crimes, and I don't really know much about him. But I do know what I do know, and what I have watched. He was always hardcore against Tiffany, and like he was so bad at some points. It was over the top for sure. I know Tiffany definitely deserves it and trusts and believes she's OTT herself. I'm down with OTT. Yeah, you know me. Who's down with OTT? Oh, I don't know, BEs. I don't know where that came from about her being in rehab, but that's just, I don't think so. That's probably just trolls. That's stuff that I would guess. I'm looking at what people. Oh wait, here. Let me. Guess I can put it on here. And just because I typed in, because somebody said, well, there's a video about her being in rehab or something, so I just typed it to see if I could find anything about that.
Okay, there it is. There it is. That break, there it is right there.
Okay.
So what did you get? Hold on, let me fix this. No, I can't hear you.
Can the chat hear me?
Nobody can hear you, I don't think. Here, let me turn this off here. Just get this out. Okay, it's real low, but I'll try. Okay, there it is. There it is. That break, there it is right there.
Okay.
So what did you get?
I'm looking at your chat. Sorry, I got a little distracted.
Oh, I told everybody to be casual and be cool and everything to the panel guests, but
No, I'm fine. People have opinions. Let them have them. It's fine. I was just looking down at hey, smiles for Miles. So why is it that you immediately associated me to Benny like I'm an extension of him?
Okay.
Wait a second, Ernie. Hold on a minute. Why is it that immediately your mind went there like when I came in your chat, you
Tiffany, it's because of things like this. This is why. Here's a prime example. Why, and I understand it's not. Sometimes it's annoying because like it happens to me all the time. But look, you took down your channel the second he, when this stuff comes, when he posts a music video. So people, that's why people associate with you with certain people, because your actions go along like in accordance with, like, if Benny does something, you do something, you see? And so that's why. Big delegation.
You held me responsible.
okay. So here's the thing, Tiffany. I think you've got good mindset for the Summer Wells thing.
Yeah.
but I've also seen you include Benny as in an
I
as
think
in a,
Benny is absolutely brilliant when it comes to Summer's case. I think that he's extremely knowledgeable. I think that he does have a
I
lot
mean,
of
I mean, I mean,
potential with
if
Summer's case.
okay,
That's,
and he
but I
is,
think
he is.
everybody also, like, people, I know, I've had a lot of time. I've not really been on YouTube a lot lately.
Okay,
And I've
so
had some time to think.
okay,
And I feel like a lot of the people who worked on Summer's case, I feel the very same way about, even people that I don't particularly like or whatever. Everybody has something to offer. Don't you agree?
to a point. To a point. Are you there? Hold on. She may be going through some bad connection.
Surprised it didn't boot me. Oh, so what I was going to say was I think that a lot of people have something to offer, and regardless of anything, like why would you, down someone's work, right?
Well, I was trying to.
Really? Okay, I have to call bullshit on that one. You down every single time anybody comes out with anything pertaining to the Summer Wells case. Like anything, like if they talk to a neighbor, if they talk to a family member, whatever, or somebody hears something in a 911 call, like you always are attacking. Like that's your middle name. I don't know if I can ask Benny. I don't know if Tiffany would. I'm not really fond of Tiffany right now. She's just not a good person, unfortunately, because she has it in her to, she has a little, like, one part of her is a really, really good person. And if she could just like stay in that one little part of her, then she would be amazing. But she's very vindictive and just not a good person. And I've been burnt by her way too many times. And hey, Benny, I don't think he's the best person either, but he really doesn't have, I don't know. Yeah. And I try to be fair, and it's not, I try, and I don't like when people attack people just because they don't, like, they attack everything somebody says just because they don't like the person. They immediately discredit the things they say because they don't like them. And I'm just not like that, because we're all right sometimes, or we're all wrong sometimes, whether we like the person speaking or not. They're right sometimes and they're wrong sometimes. So it is important to listen. Way too many people do not listen to the message because they don't like the messenger. So I try to like look past my differences with people when I'm listening to stuff like this, but when they say things like, when I hear like bullshit, I'm going to call it though,
Uplift your work, but like I said, as long as Benny Keys, this is my opinion. I'm just gonna say this is my opinion. The reason Benny's so good at the case, because he was in the case. He got close to the case. That's the reason he knows so much about the case.
Okay, so, and don't you think that's important?
I think it's important if.
Is it just because it's him? Is that?
No.
Well, what
It's
if it was
just
someone
because
else?
It's just because of things that I've heard and the things that he done during
Like
along the
what?
way. Well, I've never seen a grown man.
See, this is what I don't understand about her. Like, this is part, though. I mean, I have to give her a little bit of shit because why is she sitting here asking questions like this, knowing the freaking answers? Like, she either is on one side where she's like, accuse, or she's on the other side like this to, you know, when it's whoever, when her BFF is like fighting with somebody, you know, she wants to smooth things all over. Well, it's usually the guy, whatever guy is the flavor of the week or whatever. Okay, not flavor, whatever. I'm just teasing, but anyways, you get what I'm saying. Now, right here, she's saying, "Oh, well, what did he do? Like, what examples, please?" Like, she's completely, you know, come on, like. And I know many of you guys like Benny and stuff, and it's not saying anything bad about Benny, but come on, we know how Benny is. Like, everybody knows how Benny is, right? He's one of those like family members you have that you're like, you know, that kind of gets away with shit because they're like, well, that's Benny. You know how Benny is. You know how he is. That's him. And they just kind of get away with it because that's just them. They have a good, you know, like some people. Oh my gosh. But you see, she does play games, but that's why I wonder if this is a game. And Benny plays games too. And Benny is really good at, he'd be really good at being like working for like, a rapper or something, or somebody in the music industry. He would be good, like promoting them or being their PR, like whatever public, what's that PR stand for? Public representative or is that right? He would be the type that would go, he would be good at going out and doing stuff like this to create, you know, marketing, basically. He'd be really good at marketing. Here, there we go. Public relations. I know, but do you think that's possible? Do we know anything about possibly Tiffany being cool with John? Like, did anything change that? Because I haven't heard anything about him going after Tiffany anytime recently, but I don't watch the guy. And I'm talking about John. I don't watch him. He started coming after me one time relentlessly, and I'm like, who are you? He was really gross towards me. Like, I don't know that guy, and it was pretty horrible, to be honest. And then I saw, and I agreed with Tiffany on her feelings on him. I thought it was over the top. Just because I don't like somebody doesn't mean I can't see the truth. Absolutely not. What, Donnie? What would are you saying is John Crimes and are you talking about Tiffany and John Crimes? Are they cool? Now, I mean, I wouldn't think so. I mean, that would seem, but I would have never thought that Tiffany and Benny would have teamed up like they did. But I thought at the time, I'm going to tell you, my instinct, my gut told me at first that it was all a PR stunt. It was a way to get views. Like if they could if AB and Tiffany could cause a fight between them, it would, and she all of a sudden teams up with Benny, that brings crazy views. but you have to pay for that kind of like, man, it might bring you lots of views and you might bring you some money, but man, does your health take a beating because you are stressed AF and yeah, you can't relax, always on high alert, always feeling defensive. Oh, yes, I do. That's so sweet. How did you remember that? Wow. I'm impressed. I know I mentioned it a few days ago, but I don't think people pay attention to like that. So thank you. I wouldn't think so, Donnie. But would you have ever thought she would have been cool with Benny? Now, I guess I would say, of course, I would see her being cool with Benny over John for sure. And who are you saying, Pisces? Yeah, I'm a Pisces. It's Pisces season right now. The most horrible sign to be, I think. I never drew my card. I was going to draw cards and see what my cards said about what's going on with Tiffany and Benny. Oh gosh, I'm crazy.
And do some of the things he's done. Are you okay?
Like, I just don't understand why, like, Ernie, if you have problems with Benny, would you ever try to talk to him?
At one time I did try to talk to him. Remember when he came up and he said he was sorry for all the bullshit he done?
Wasn't he just on your panel a couple of days ago?
No, not really.
Yeah, a couple of days ago. I
Okay.
think, right? Weren't you on a panel with him?
I've been on things with him before, but I don't know. They don't usually last long.
Okay, so you won't talk to me about Summerwell's case?
I'll talk to you about the Summerwell's case.
Okay, well then that's all you really needed to say.
Are you serious, Gina? I'll look on that. Big Daisy cow. Oh, okay. Be nice. I'll check.
Yeah, I can talk to you about that. Ernie, do you think Benny is responsible for Summer going missing? Didn't you say Benny knew Don before Summer went missing? Well, I mean, his own words said that, but he actually made it clear to everybody what he meant by that. So,
oh God, I'm so glad you came to that determination at this point.
What determination?
But you threw me off your panel for that, like.
But do I think that Benny Keys is responsible or has something to do with Summerwell's going missing? Hell yes.
That is so bizarre and crazy.
How's it bizarre?
No, I don't think Benny had. Hey, you know what? Stranger things have happened, but I don't believe that. But at the same time, I never thought that I would have never. Well, at least I didn't. I never thought that Prairie Garden was friends with Allie at one time. So I wouldn't think I don't. I think that's like too conspiracy theorish to go that far out there, because I don't think that happened. But I don't think he's involved. I think that's just no. But we haven't found any type of signs that he's connected to them. But we have with PG. Something would have came up about Benny by now. I mean, his whole record's out there. But Gina, I didn't find anything about Tiffany Marie on her channel. Are you talking about? You're saying it was said. When was that said?
Think about what you just said.
Well, okay, think about this. I'm not the
I
only.
know, and PG thinks that she's out of the queer, Connie. But no, you guys stay on me a little bit. I mean, obviously it's going to take some time, but yeah, remind me every once in a while to look into her, because sometimes I get so like, I mean, it does get boring after a while because it takes hours and hours to even find the like littlest thing. But, I can go for, after a while, I have to take breaks in between, basically. Sassafras. Oh, does she have that sassafras? I'll check.
Only one that thinks that.
Who else thinks that?
Okay, explain one thing to me.
What?
The video, that 28-second video that he did, when he says, I just had a vacation. I was in Tennessee, Smoky Mountains. You take the time.
How big are
2
the
months.
Smoky Mountains? How vast and wide and far are the Smoky Mountains?
When you say Tennessee and Smoky Mountains, Tiffany, that's not too vast and
It's not.
small. No, sorry.
All right, so I don't know anything about that, but if he went on
Oh,
vacation,
well,
with
I
his
mean, I can
family, that
play
means
the
he's,
I can
like,
play the video. And
How
it
would
happened in
anybody
September.
know? He didn't know the Wells family, Ernie. That one I cannot with. That's really outlandish.
Even the
I just
TBI,
can't.
even the TBI said.
Yeah, that's what we've been talking about, Justice. Well, kind of. We were talking about Dawn. We got off on Tiffany. Ew, I didn't mean it like that. Okay. Ew, no. I mean, okay. Scratch that. That sounded so bad. We got off the subject of Dawn Wells, but then got onto the Tiffany Marie thing because her channels are gone. And Benny Keys just posted some music video that he did with John Crimes, and now he posted a community post basically talking shit and saying he's going to come out and speak on it, but yet he said he was done on YouTube. I thought he was done on YouTube. What does he mean he's coming out and going to talk on it? I don't understand. I thought you were leaving. But anyways, supposedly he's going to come out and talk about it. We were just talking about whether we thought it was a publicity stunt. I keep saying PR stunt. It would be publicity stunt. Like a publicity stunt to try to get views, because, that's what people were thinking when they first started hanging out, that it was all for views. And plus, I felt too that she was trying to upset AB. Like AB and her seemed to be genuinely, like, I thought they were upset with each other, but I also wondered too if that was a whole setup. I know, this is all just happening. You're not that late. This is all, go check. Benny Keys just posted this music video, and this community post within like an hour. So you're not too late, but Tiffany's channel's been gone since, I don't know, the middle of the night or something. Definitely by this morning. And people have their speculations. You don't think it's a setup? I don't know. I wish that we could just trust people. I wish we didn't have to think like that and get all conspiracy theorists. And this community makes you go crazy, where you have to second guess every effing thing people say. I've never lived like that. I guess I'm very naive and gullible. I mean, I was voted most gullible, second place in high school, but I've just always, I take people for their word. I don't usually question everything they say. And now that's kind of changed because I see, wow, it seems like a huge majority of the world is really horrible. and just all liars. Is there anybody that just, I mean, I didn't grow up around dishonesty. I don't remember. I honestly cannot think of one time my dad has ever lied. My dad, I cannot think of one time that he's ever lied to me. So I guess besides my dad, he's probably the only person I know that's that I can't think of. But I also, at the same time, I don't have very many people really in my life. I'm kind of a hermit in a way. So I don't get introduced to too many people very often, except on here. But I do feel like if people can do it online, on a computer screen, then I think they can do it in real life. They just would do it if they couldn't get caught, so. Brian Koberger, Pennsylvania search warrant. Yeah, we already read that. Hey, Sherry. Her channel came down yesterday, then went back up last night and down again. Oh. Tiffany is embarrassed. Yeah. What do you mean barely used her like he does everyone else? Oh, Benny used her. Yeah. Well, I feel they probably used each other. In a little way, like, I can't lie. When I first heard about it, I even said on here, I was very like, oh my God, like, it's going to be bad. And, Tiffany's going to get really, really hurt. It's going to be bad because she goes through these depressions where she'll leave YouTube for a couple weeks. She seems strong, but she gets down too. And I just knew, that combination definitely was going to implode at some point. If this is fake or real or whatever, it's going to implode in the future. If it's not now, I just knew it was going to be bad, bad, bad news. I think anybody would. It doesn't take a genius. But Tiffany is such a loyal person, but only if you're undeniably loyal to her. And that means you can't disagree with her on anything. You see how bad, how much she would back, AB and Benny and stuff, she's very, I don't know if I've ever seen somebody so loyal, but I don't even know if it's I don't know how to describe it. It's kind of maybe I don't think it's a loyal thing. It's more like codependency type thing, really, because it's usually men from what I've seen. She does have a lot of people that just seem to follow her every word but I think this is different. Yeah, true. Kiss my son and Tess. I think they used each other in the and Tiffany, before you get mad at me, I know you're already probably mad at me, but whatever. I truly do feel bad for I feel bad for her because I know it's got to be embarrassing, but she knew she was dancing with the devil is all I can say. Okay. But she knew, she was, it was obvious that she was trying to piss off AB. Come on, out of all things, who would she team up with to piss AB off the worst. I mean, of course, like Benny, that would have. So that's what she did, and look what happens, you know? Yeah, yeah, bees. she That's definitely one of her bad sides to her. She just is too prideful. She won't ever say sorry. It comes off very narcissistic. And I know that word's overused, but she has many qualities of narcissism. I see it clear as day. Because first of all, biggest sign that I can tell with a narcissist, they never apologize. They never, ever apologize. Ever. And I'm not even being like exaggerating. They just never apologize. Because for one, they never think they're wrong. But for two, it's a hit to their pride and ego. Why, what's the oof supposed to mean? Oh, mouth no breath. Yeah, but I knew that they were both kind of using each other, but unfortunately, when you get into something with bad intentions, bad things happen. This is karma playing out. If this is real, that's why I don't even I just try my very best to do the right thing, because if there is such thing as karma, I want to limit the amount of bad karma I have coming my way, because enough bad stuff happens naturally without me adding bad to my own life when it can be prevented. Yep. Hey, Jane. Yeah, I know. It's hard. Bees. I know, Sherry, it's hard. I was with a narcissist for a long time, but and to be with a narcissist, like, you have to, if you love them, there's certain things you have to accept if you're going to be with somebody like that. And you have to accept that basically they're unable to love you like you love them, because really they say narcissists can't love. I feel they love in their own way, I get, as best as they know how. Because I don't want to say bad about, somebody I was with, but yeah, it's really hard to be with a narcissist, and it's really difficult. But I knew, like, when I was on the phone with Benny and Tiffany when I was in Tennessee, when they first called me, like, because every time she'd call, she would have him on the phone. That's why that one time I asked her, I go, is anybody on the phone? She lied to me and said no, and Benny was there. Like, she does everything these guys say. Like, it's kind of sickening. Like, she's so strong, and she comes off so strong and independent, and like and a leader, but really, she's just, I don't know. When it comes to men, she gets very over the top. Josh Slava's next victim. It's like, she says baby. Oh, thank you, Sherry. What I can say about Josh at least like recognizes when he's wrong and he can admit it. So, and I know people say to me, well, didn't he do well? Yeah, but I'm not gonna like attack him for the rest of his life. We all make mistakes. So, and he seemed to be regretful how the whole thing happened. So, have to give people second chances if you yourself want second chances. And I haven't even talked to Josh or anything, but I'm just saying, like, I don't discredit people completely with just because they did one thing that I really didn't like. I know many of you can do that and can cancel somebody just like that. But I wish I could be more like that, but I can't. And I wish I could be more like that because I believe I let people into my life that are toxic just because I don't want to hurt their feelings or whatever. And that has nothing to do with Josh, obviously, because is it codependent? Like, I was wondering if it would be codependency. The way I don't know how to explain it. It's sad. She's totally the type that would be she seems like an abuse victim, which is weird because she's so like outgoing but she seems like the type that could get easily involved in a very unhealthy relationship, which any of us can. It's not just her. Right, Southern Sass. And many people I'm learning, especially here on YouTube, like the creators, many of them do not have empathy. That is clear as day. There's very few, seriously, the only one, I'm not going to say her name because if I forget somebody, then they're going to think there's not very many that I can think of. That are good people. Or not, that are, most creators on here are narcissists, straight up. Just the truth. Some people try to say that shit about me, but I'm the opposite. I'm one of those that would I get codependent, I would say. Like how I was too dependent on Jim. And, that's why it was on top of losing somebody that the only person, on top of losing somebody that I had been with for almost 10 years, also, I was too dependent on the person. Yeah, I don't feel like, my issue with, when I had my little issue with Josh, it was, one and done, and then that's what it is. But why would so I just got a text, and maybe one of you guys in the chat can she can't type in the chat, but she says, Benny disliked White Boy as much or more than Ernie and vice versa. They threaten one another a lot. White Boy and his wife getting Margie's interview was probably a slap. Oh. Did Tiffany covered that interview? Is that like, I don't know, like, I don't know if that could have had anything to do with it. I mean, he did mention the interview, but it's deeper than that. Surely it's got to go deeper than just that. It sounds like it to me. It does. I mean, it was really sad. His post, I felt really bad for him. I did. I know that he can, and I'm talking about Benny. I know he can be a horrible person, but nobody should be essayed as a child or, that's just horrible. It's just horrible. It just makes me so angry. Oh, thank you, Amy. That's true, because people do bad things. Very true. And that's why it's so hard to decipher sometimes. Like, okay, should I forgive this, or should I forgive and forget, or should I just forgive? Because I always will forgive, but I will not forget. You have to screw me over pretty effing bad. For one, any of those people involved in the whole like bashing of me after Jim passed away, I will never be cool with any single one of them ever again. I will forgive them only because I can't live with that. Like, I can't live with that negativity. But if you see them, you can block them on sight. You never have to worry about me accepting them back into the chat or anything. And if I see them in the chat, and I'm responding to their comments, it's just because I'm not trying to cause waves. But there's several of them I don't really want around because I just lost Jim. And many of those people knew how important he was to me and how much he was involved in my life, and especially my daughter's life. And for them to turn around, act like, play it as some kind of joke, I can never forgive that. So, but besides that, like, I can't think of, it takes a very, very, very lot. Oh, okay. So maybe, so you're wondering if it's even really Margie? Sure, I heard somebody else say that too. Maybe it's not even her. I guess that's a possibility, but more than likely it probably is. Because you would think it would be too easy to discredit something like that. I was going to draw a few cards to see what was up with here, I'll play this one.
Something
Says
about
what?
that video.
Which video are you talking about?
The 28-second video
28-second video of what? What was it?
Benny Keys talking about that he was in the Smoky Mountains, Tennessee, and it puts him right there when Summer went missing. So,
well, where were you though, Ernie? You were real close too, weren't you? Like,
oh God, we was busting our first predator on June 15th.
Oh, you busted your first predator on June 15th?
Yeah, we had the film crew out there.
Oh, holy shit, really? So you had an alibi and everything, cameras and all.
Oh God, we have it all.
Shit.
Yeah.
You ever show it? Did you ever show all that?
It went viral, the video did.
It did? Which one was it? Maybe I saw it.
See, she's obviously, where is, what is he talking to? They're both bullshitting each other there, but. Oh, you did? What is going viral? Okay. Hey, Alexa. What's it mean to go viral?
Here's something I found on Wiktionary. Go viral is a verb meaning to be rapidly and frequently shared through social media.
Okay, rapidly and frequently shared through social media, but I thought that I would get a number. Hey, Alexa. How many views do you have to get to go viral?
From Wondershare.com. Usually viewership over 5 million within the time span of 2 to 3 weeks is considered to make a video reach
Okay,
viral.
Ernie.
By the way, you can thank the driver of your most recent delivery and will share your appreciation with them. Just say, thank my driver.
Oh, I was like, what driver? Maybe they're talking about an Amazon. I was like, what the hell? I didn't have. Okay. Anyways, it says, so Ernie, if you haven't had, you have to get 5 million views within 2 to 3 weeks for it to be considered viral. I'm so tired of people here on YouTube thinking they're celebrities from getting 1,000 views. Like, stop. Right, I mean, thank you. It was very tough, and I don't know why people. It was horrible, and actually, it's more sad thinking back on it. It makes me feel bad for myself. Like, I don't know why. I mean, I've never feel like that, but it was horrible. I don't think I've ever been treated so poorly. I've never been treated so poorly in my life, ever. It was absolutely traumatizing, really. I know what viral means, but he's trying to act like he knows that he's trying to act like his video went viral. And it's like, dude, you did not go viral. Stop. All of us need to get knocked down, need a piece of humble pie at times. So, randomly choose one card. I was going to. Well, and then go around and say, call me, blame me for his death. I mean, like, really, that's the most disgusting thing I've ever. I mean, who could. And people sit there and, like, cheer it on, is what I don't get. Like, I can't hang out. I don't want anybody over here who's hung out in that chat and said, joined in any way. So that's just gross. I'm sorry. Anybody to stand by that? I don't want you here at any point. So don't come here ever. I'm saying that out loud in here because people, they've been coming by here, and I have mods that are afraid to, that I don't want to block people because of how I usually am about blocking. But when it comes to that situation, I'm not gonna give you a hard time. And if I happen to unblock somebody, there's a couple of them, it's tough it's tough, but you know what? Nobody had any type of grace for me. And I specifically asked, I shouldn't say nobody. But I specifically asked the community, I said, please give me a couple months grace or a couple weeks grace or something like that, I said. And I couldn't even get that. But it makes you stronger, really. Amy's going to draw a card. I was going to draw a card to see what was going on with... I was just sitting there meditating, or not meditating. Oh, no, I bent my card. I hate that. Oh. Dang it. Anyways. I was going to draw something on... Okay, I could draw one card real quick for Sherry. The card I get is the Lover's card. Woo-hoo! What you got going on? I don't know. I got the Lover's card and 2 of Cups yesterday and like all the love cards and stuff. I'm like, what the hell? Like, how is that possible? So yeah, I don't know too much. Sometimes it seems to be so accurate, but other times I'm like, what? Oh, well, I guess it could have been the Lovers. If that would have been perfect for Benny and Tiffany Marie. Okay, so Benny and Tiffany, we've got, real quick before I go, the moon. So there's a bunch of mystery surrounding and illusions. Hopefully this isn't a trick. The 6 of Pentacles and Justice. So 6 of Pentacles is a card of like, it's like charity, or it's like giving to the poor. And you could be either side. You could be the one giving or the one taking. And the moon card, with it coming up first, that shows that there's a lot of mystery around the situation and illusion, which is kind of odd because it makes you think, okay, illusion in what way? Is this all a trick? And then the Justice card, I don't know, with the Justice card there, that really shows that I think that card is very fitting. And it says, the decisions that you make now have long-term effects in all things, both for yourself and others. There will always come a time where you will be judged. The Justice card appearing in a reading signals that a judgment will be made fairly and accordingly. The decisions that you have made in the past will be carefully weighed with fairness. Your feelings around this card may differ depending on your situation. If you have been wrong, this card's appearance may bring you relief. On the other hand, if your actions cause pain to others, this card serves as a warning. Her appearance represents a chance for you to change your actions now for a better future. When a tarot card reading shows the figure of justice, it is time to account for your actions. Another meaning of the Justice card is truth. Truth must come to pass, and this cannot be found from the mouths and gossip of others. Instead, it's based on facts. Learn the truth about others and yourself. Speak and know the truth before passing a judgment. During a reading, when you see the Justice tarot card, you need to be fair in all your deeds. By following the right procedure to learn the truth, you will understand what your tasks are. Another meaning of the Justice tarot card during a reading is to symbolize that attention is needed. It could be about your life, career, or just an important decision that you need to make. If you have been unsure about something, it is time to get a solution once and for all. Yeah. So, justice always rears its ugly head. Or, is that even a saying? I don't know too much about Sagittarius at all. I don't know too many Sagittarius. Here, let me draw. I'll draw from this deck of 3 cards too for the situation. See what I get from this deck. Secrets, imbalance in family, and unhappiness and confusion. So the 9 of Swords in reverse, Queen of Pentacles in reverse, and the Moon in reverse for this time. So the 9 of Swords is like deep-seated fears, secrets, being secretive. Queen of Pentacles in reverse is in an imbalance in their life. And actually that's really fitting because Benny says that his family, in one of his posts, he was mentioning about his family, and how it got kind of put to the side. And then the Moon in reverse is, even more, really, really a lot of confusion. Unhappy. So we got the Moon twice, once in Well, the first deck I only had upright, but this deck it's all. And for the last and third deck, I'll draw 3 more and that's it, and I gotta go. Yeah, I mean, that's all you can do, really. Southern South is try to do the next right thing, the best, and sometimes, and fight for the truth, or do what's right, speak the truth. Yeah, that's all you can do. But sometimes, as humans, we make mistakes and we accidentally do something wrong, or we accidentally are a shitty person. So, you can't accidentally, I don't know if accidentally is the real word, because you can accidentally lie, I guess. Actually, I don't think it should be considered a lie unless it's intentional. It's all about intent. Hey, Anastasia. Okay, so 3 more cards. Benny and Tiffany. God. So this deck, I got 7 of coins, 6 of coins, and then the sun. It looks like a money thing. That card totally looks like a money thing. Or that set of cards looks like it's done. It's all about views, money. That's what I got for that. That's just, I don't know if what that means, but as far as if this is legitimate or just something made up for views, I don't know, but looks like somebody is hoping for some money though out of it. They're getting married. Oh my God, wouldn't that be crazy if that would be like the if they come out and we're married, we got hitched. Could you guys imagine? I don't even know if I would be shocked, because how so many shocking things happen on YouTube. It's after a while that you're so let's just say today the Biden-Harris administration mounted a powerful case for student debt relief in front of the U.S. Supreme Court. The student debt relief program will provide critical support to more than 40 million borrowers, most at risk of delinquency or default when the student loan payment pause ends. Our administration is confident in our legal authority to adopt this plan, and today made it clear that opponents of the program lack standing to even bring their case to court. While opponents of the program would deny relief to tens of millions of working middle-class Americans, we are fighting to deliver relief to borrowers who need support as they get back on their feet after the economic crisis caused by the pandemic. Sorry, I got a notification about this, and I'm really hoping that some of my student debt is relieved. But it's weird because I feel like the vid or the pandemic, I feel like people are more in need now than they were during the pandemic almost, because the price is so high. And it's because I feel it's all a result of the pandemic and all that money given out. But of course, we haven't experienced something like that you don't experience stuff like that every day in America. So, but it says while we await the Supreme Court's decision, the pause on student loan payments remains in effect. Payments will resume 60 days after the Supreme Court announces its decision. If it has not made a decision to resolve the litigation by June 30th, payments will resume 60 days after that. So August 30th. In addition to this one-time debt relief program focused on counteracting negative impacts of the pandemic, President Biden and Vice President Harris and I will continue to put the needs of students and borrowers ahead of special interest, invest in college affordability, hold colleges accountable for runaway costs and unaffordable debts, and pursue historic changes to student loan repayment that will cut costs and reduce the crushing burden of student loan for millions of working families. Gosh, well, I hope so. I don't know. Hopefully by August, I'll be in a better spot because, man, I can't imagine paying. I don't know how much is I don't even know how much my payments would be. I would guess a couple hundred at least a month, right? Couldn't really afford that right now. Actually, I know I can't afford that right now. Right? Kiss my southern sass. All right, guys, I'm going to go. These cards were just entertainment purposes only. Just don't take anything seriously with it. It's just all in good fun. What the hell my cards get? Do you guys, to those who read cards though, do you guys read upside down? Or what do you guys do? We'll have to wait and see, I guess, what happens tonight. Tonight's probably going to be a big one. There's probably going to be lots to watch for everybody tonight. So get prepared. And I guess I'll go ahead and go, guys. But you've been awesome. And thanks for hanging out with me. And we'll talk soon. Adios, amigos.